Alright, so I wanted to do this video in complete darkness. Yeah, I remember a comment I got from an idiot. If you feel the need to film yourself in complete darkness, and he was ranting about somebody else or about some stupid. It's hilarious. This guy. We'll talk about him. It's comic relief, everyone. So I was gonna do it this way. This is how I sit in the morning, right? Complete darkness. So, but we'll put this on because a lot of people on the other business like watching my sexy body and like watching me talk more than anything else. But and these glasses are gay. I don't need it. I mean, I think I'm gonna buy like bigger ones anyway. Like Gorilla Girl Sophia wears anyway. Yeah. So that's. Yeah, this guy, we all know who he is. Benny Loon is what I call him these days. I mean, he's just so hilarious, man. I mean, you know, some people you just they're just so funny. You follow them for unintended comic relief. It's one thing to be a good comedian that actually requires intelligence, like I have. But it's another when the guy is like, I'm serious, and he it's just so funny reading all this stuff, and he's addicted to me and my feet and all this other nonsense, and well, it's not nonsense. We all like, I mean, we all have those sexual fetishes and preferences. We just don't, But that's not the point of this video. I've already spoken about that on the other business during my live stream. I wish I could get the old YouTube channel back. I could do live streams here too, but these faggots have banned it. So, but they'll get it back someday. They'll get it back. Oh, yeah, okay. Camera angles, huh? Little Ben. Anyway, forget Little Ben, but he's just so funny at this point. I kind of look forward to Yeah, I just sit like this early in the morning. People talk about, being at peace and all this other garbage. And how can you be at peace all the time, man? You're never even accomplishing anything if you're at peace. But yeah, those first few minutes of the day, or, sometimes after I train, so that during the day I have few minutes of peace, cat naps, whatever you call it. My mind goes blank and I just, last night, all night long, I was dreaming about some video, and I guess the thoughts were there. Um, but anyway, this video is about fasting. It's about something very interesting that I've written about. I've spoken a lot about on my website, on all of them, that, as women have told me myself, and as I've noticed, in porn and stuff, not that I watch it, but as I've noticed myself, uh, why do skinny guys have the largest dicks? Women actually have asked me this question. And a girlfriend asked me, and then in China you have this saying, which, by the way, a fat man used very well. Well, that email didn't really make him, but probably he used it pretty well for a short period of time before his sales tanked by selling shit like Chinese culture secrets, which is garbage. He was just monetizing the, China craze back then and everything because Obama was president and everything Asian was great. But India, he would never mention it. Like, he's this guy that did Hindu push-ups and stuff, and but although he gave them the name Hindu, he would never really talk about what, because nobody cares about India. That's just the fact of it. It's just the brutal fact, reality, and India just has itself to blame. You ask that guy, I'm sure he'll tell you the same thing. But, um, yeah, so he did this in one of his emails. Fat man has small penis, and he does. I mean, I remember my buddy Lily. Let's just call him Lily. He's great. He's a great guy. And he was like, if you look down and you can't see your dick while you're taking a shower, Little Ben and a lot of these other trolls that constantly obsess about me are kind of the same. I mean, we all know that. But I recently posted, on X and all this, that the real key, you have people selling penis elongation techniques. You have people selling rubber bands. You even have people selling shit to cure phimosis and phimosis. I don't know. How do you pronounce that? Phimosis, where the foreskin doesn't go all the way back and all this. But and maybe in some cases the last one is required. I don't know. I could tell you about my own 9.2 incher, but I don't think you want to hear that here, TMI, huh? But, well, I'll do a video on that on the other side, yeah, idea. But, you know, but my first reaction, my first comment to all of this garbage is that, all of that is fine, diet, and is that number one, exercise, and number two, lower belly fat. If you're talking lower belly fat, that's interlinked. These are chakra points in your body, and that's interlinked. I mean, if you're a man and you got man tits, I mean, you may have a flat upper abdominal area, but your this part of it is going to be fat, and it's very simple. One is aesthetics. If you have a big belly like this, it's just going to look smaller. And most of these guys with big bellies they have restricted blood flow to the groin. So the dick is a muscle which elongates. No Elon or Bill Gates, please. Which elongates. Contractible, whatever the hell it is. The more blood goes to it. So the more fat you have around that area, the less blood flow. I mean, how much simpler can I mean, have you ever noticed when you lose weight, you feel hornier? You don't just look sexier, you feel hornier. Like, that's one thing. But the real secret, and this is going to be the title of this video, is why my upcoming course on fasting is the real deal. You hear people talk about fast, you hear people talk about 7-day fast, fruit fast, intermittent fast, but they don't give you, they'll say, oh, I did a fruit fast, I didn't feel this way. They don't give you skinny on it. They don't give you the real deal, what goes on in your mind while fasting. Now, the physical aspect of this is fantastic. Okay, you don't eat or you eat less, and ideally the best way is to do water fasts for 3 days at a row, 7 days at a row. You don't always have to start out 7 days, But the mental is the worst. I mean, when I first started fasting years ago, even me, I mean, I was like, oh, but I haven't eaten, no. Because society in general is so psyoped to believe, number one, people need to be fat or you're Ariana Grande or skinny. If you're sexy and skinny, then that's, they cope by saying that. But society is so fucking psyoped to believe that, that you have to have these 3 meals a day. You have to have, uh, breakfast, the most important meal of the day, and all this. Even back when our ancestors, when they needed those amount of calories, they weren't eating even every day. They were eating once every 3 or 4 fucking days, and they were lifting heavy stuff. They were fucking girls. They were fighting, I mean, when they ate like fucking tigers. You should live like a tiger. When a tiger eats, that motherfucker doesn't eat for the next 3 or 4 days, And oftentimes for weeks it'll walk without any food or anything. That doesn't mean it goes all out, full bore in every walk. And this applies to, you can, most people are like, oh, I'll get weak during fasting, oh, this, that, So my upcoming course will be covering the mentality part of it, okay? You can check it out on the front page of the website. It'll be covering the mentality part of it, which is the most important in anything you do. And it's also going to cover the right way to train exercise during a fast. Most people will teach you wrong, They may show you 40 push-ups on YouTube, and then they'll say, I feel full of energy and all that. You should go all out. During a fast, if you're doing it right, you're gonna feel this surge of energy, this boost of energy. Currently, I'm doing an intermittent fast. Like I had fruits, did a fruit. I had fruits, and then the day before that, Saturday night, I figured when most people are sitting around eating fucking Italian subs with fries and stuffing their gullets and getting fatter and loonier and miserable, more miserable by the day, I figured hubby porn star could do a fat. And my sexy. Like, what can I say, man? I'm just the sexiest. But I figured I could do a fast, so I did one. Um, a day before that, I altered my diet. So I keep trying different things, man. I do different things, which is why I have this aura, this vibe. Uh, and by the way, aura versus vibe. Can any of you tell me the difference? I don't think so. Aura is a person's energy. Vibe is more emotional, like so. If you're a sexual vibe, so you can get a sexual vibe off of a person, but aura is why they call me Emperor Sir, or body weight exercise guru seer or whatever. You don't necessarily all the time get a sexual vibe off them, but you have this fantastic energy projected at you. And all of you listening, which is why they call me a guru, which is why they call me, uh, it's there. It's all enveloping. It's your energy. It's that's why I have this aura because you know, um, and yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is fasting. Dramatically, I mean, I'll just cover. Increases your testosterone levels as a man. As a woman, it makes you more womanly too. But I mean, for women, I'm gonna aim this mostly at men, because women have fucking, they're on the rag, they're on the, that time of the month. Women are fucking insane. I'm not even interested in, yeah. I mean, beyond housemaids and fucking them, or whatever I do with them. Uh, beyond, flirting with girls and all that. I mean, most of my stuff, even on the other side, is tailored to male customers and some women, some are cool. But yeah, as a man, your testosterone, the number one thing you need to remember, it's a little secret, I'll tell you, the quality of your sleep. A lot of people will lie awake in bed, tossing and turning the second night of fasting, thinking, oh my God, I haven't eaten, I'm starving myself, I'm denying myself. It's a good thing. The more you deny something to yourself, the more you get it later. The better, the reverse happens later. Your sleep quality will drastically improve. Like yesterday, I did a fruit and almond fast, which is basically, and then I had a few wheat-based crackers, but it was pure wheat. It wasn't any of that, refined flour garbage. And I just slept so well, man. Even though I was dreaming all night, I just slept so fucking well. I mean, granted, I was exhausted the day before, granted, but I don't always sleep that well, even if I'm exhausted. I have all these thoughts, and, Um, so, yeah, you sleep a lot better. You lose weight, specifically around the areas most men, like here, your man tits, your lower belly, your saggy ass, all that extra. Your body goes into starvation mode, essentially, after the second day. And if you're drinking black coffee and all this, at 35 cups and, smoking and all that, you're just amping your body's natural survival instincts. And I think they call it HGH, human growth hormone, or whatever the fuck it is. You're amping it. And this is something even doctors will, I mean, fat doctors will tell you. Like after a day or so of fasting, your HGH will go up, you know, beyond belief, quite literally. Oh, I was supposed to do this video the other way. Okay, well, whatever. Landscape, we'll do it sometime anyway. Um, yeah, and that's it. You know, you need to fast, you need to do all those things, and I'll be teaching you how to do it right. I'll be teaching you how to, you know, the thinking and what to do. You'll feel a lot better. You'll have a lot more sexual energy, and then in general, your results in life and everything will improve. So be sure and place the pre-order. And as far as Profit Pro goes, a lot of you have placed pre-orders, and I've received emails saying, even if this book takes, because I give people so much entertainment, man, daily for free. I mean, that nobody really cares. They're more than happy. Like people have placed pre-orders for Lumberjack Lodestone Fitness, and idiots complain about they steal their money. I don't steal it. They give it and they take it, and some of them we found this guy, Bob from Bobby. Let's just call him Bob, okay? Uncle Bob. Let's just call him Uncle Bob. He's an older guy, and he was like great information, and Robert, I believe. Anyway, he unsubscribed from the email list because there was too much information. It was cloaking up his inbox. So, because everything I put out here and on the website, you don't always see it because I put out a lot of stuff for the ship members, but which nobody except them sees, and unless they then share it somewhere and this and that, and he was like, you give us so much entertainment for free that, even if this book takes, because, he was asking me with my long workouts, with my videoing, with all the writing, with all that, where do you find time to even sleep, is what he asked. Now it's like, I don't sleep. I'm constantly, doing pull-ups or something, and, I'm constantly doing something because, I just can't sit in one place. I mean, if I sit in one place, I'll just, go, I don't know, I'm not accomplishing anything. It could be as simple as, doing one more pull up, but it's an accomplishment, right? I mean, and, that's that, you know. And what else? In the upcoming course, so yeah, I'm going to teach you all that. I'm going to teach you, and yeah, water. You need to drink a hell of a lot of water daily. This is very important. Even if you're not fasting, you need at least 10 liters of water, minimum 8, And don't ever tell a girl to drink water because she's never going to do it. Yeah, I'll drink. Then she'll show you what she drank, which is this much. And you'll be like, and she'll keep, so, again, this is terrible. But even men are the same way these days. Oh, yeah, you tell men to drink water, they'll be like, 10 liters of water is too much. You'll get water poisoning. Are you fucking insane, man? Do I look like I got water poisoning? It'll clean. Water will not kill you. The worst thing that can happen, and it's not going to happen, is you'll puke it out. That's all that'll happen. I mean, like the Nazis used to do. They used to they used to make you drink a whole ton of water. Well, in their case, it was seawater, so you'd bloat up anyway. And they jump on the guy's stomach or the girl's stomach, whatever. They were brutal, man. I mean, and, but that's what's going to happen, you're just going to puke it out. Last but not least, and this is specifically directed at one of my lovely fans. I'll blow him a kiss. He likes being called Sweetie Pie and, all these other terms, like Big Baby and all these other terms. So, whatever. He once said, I'd rather be thick than, have joint issues, this and that. Well, first of all, I mean, he claimed I have all these joint issues and injuries, and which I do have injuries, but, I work around them. Joint issues? No. You're the one that can't do one single squat to the floor. You're the one that can't do one single pull-up in proper form. You cover your chest all the time because you know why. You do retarded animal movements that, everybody laughs at, so you take it off there because, it's comedy, unintended comedy. Look, I used to be, I'll just cover it briefly. You look at the cover of the books on Shoulders Like Boulders, Pull-Ups, I used to be, I would say fat. Now, Not like you. You're like literally blogging, but I used to be fat, okay? I mean, women would come up to me and touch this part of my chest because it was solid, you know, when I was in public transport and all that. But I was fat, and I just didn't, I didn't have that killer thing, and it manifested in my relationship. It manifested, I mean, to a very small degree. Most guys wouldn't, even notice. But we won't talk about all that. But I used to be, and people, I would show them, and these people were fat themselves. I would show them. Like this girl, Andy, she wasn't really fat, but she was kind of thick. I actually bought her a pair of strappy black sexy sandals, and she enjoyed it, and she was getting married. So talk about, women being, and anyway, but she was like, look at this, muscle man, and she posted it on her WeChat. Then Chuck, another guy I know, he was like, yeah, you used to be pretty thick back then. What happened? And I'm like, I don't want to be that thick because ultimately I had issues, not now, but then. I've spoken about how my feet swelled up. My ankles swelled up to the point, and believe me, I still jogged with it, but I was not doing all the right things. And this is what I'm going to teach on this course, in this course too. My ankle fucking swole up. I still remember I went to a motherfucking doctor and I showed him and I put my foot up like this, and he was like, ugh, just move it away. And of course, the person who went with me was like, why didn't you tell him to do so? Why didn't you not to be rude? And I'm like, well, if I told him to be rude, you'd tell me, then there would be a fight and I'd get blamed for starting a fight. If I don't tell him to be, I didn't tell him because he was a fucking, Indian doctors. Like Uncle Bob once went to an Indian doctor. He had measles or something, and that lady reacted to him the same way. With Indians, you can't. I mean, it's pointless. You can fight with an old man, but what are you going to get out of it? You could easily, it's gay bullshit. But and yeah, this is why I keep talking about doctors in a negative sense, because they're fat, they're out of shape. He got triggered by me even when I was fat and out of shape, Uh, but anyway, so I had all these issues then. I mean, I would do sprints and all that, and I would, pull Achilles tendons and all kinds of other shit. And I remember coming back home once, and I was like, oh my God. And, I was driving back then. And my then wife, she opens the door and she's like, oh, you've got injured again. You've hurt yourself again. I was like, yeah, because I was so fat, man. I couldn't fucking squat like you can't. But you say it's a different body type. It's literally, Carol used to, and this was when I was kind of thick. There were two cars parked here, okay? Car one, car two. So Carol invites me. She's like, I need to lose weight. Let's climb hills together. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And the first day she took me on a walk, second day was the hill. But Ann Lee, I've told you about, all the girls giggling away. Now that was a good thing because I don't mind making girls laugh at me. With girls, you gotta do nothing. You just gotta make them laugh and you got them. Simple. That's why comedians, even the fat ones, get laid. But there were these two cars and Carol just kind of, and she wasn't exactly slim either, and she got even fatter. And after we were together, and she was like, because I'm so happy, so my tits are getting bigger. And for me it was like, he's lost so much weight because I was doing the hill thing and all that. And I really amped it after we broke up. Because mutual breakup and all that, because I had to do something. I had to, this is what I keep saying. Guys, when they break up, they moan, piss, groan, all this other bullshit. But you don't need to do all that. You just need to fucking channel that anger, rage, emotion, whatever it is, into something productive. You become hubby porn star, and then the girl looks back at you 7 years later. She sends you, not Carol, but another one. She sends you messages like, wow, you look so sexy now. And you were handsome before too, but now you're so much better. And, that's what it is. That's how you win at life. Money, sex, whatever. But so she passes between these two cars. And I'm standing there and I go like this, because I don't want to, damage the rear view mirror and all that. And she's giggling like this. Hee 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 hee. Not the girls have two kinds. Like one is like Kamala Harris, horrible, horrible. I wanna say this. If you're still supporting Kamala Harris, you deserve three things. You deserve to be sent to Guantanamo. You deserve to be stripped of your birthright citizenship. You're a fucking traitor. And you deserve to be eaten by fucking crocodiles. That's just what it is. I mean, maybe not the. Uh, and you're a traitor if you're still, and there's still people saying, President Trump is causing chaos, and Kamala, open borders. I mean, she wants to chop your kids' genitals off. She wants to, again, bring back the affirmative action and all this other, DEI and bullshit and no merit based bullshit. But, there's still the liberal left. You have to. There was this Indian woman, and Indians are the same everywhere. I saw this video on X today. She spits at a police officer because he asked her to, and they do that in India because they think they're, India is way more feminist than the West. Nobody wants to talk about it, excepting hubby porn star. But I will talk about it because it's fact, it's reality. Even their gods and goddesses are feminist. But anyway, so she goes to America. She complains about Americans and, how this country is all racist and white. And hey, get the fuck out of the country. It's a white country. Go back to India. I'm saying it. Anyway, it's a white country, man. I mean, you don't see white people come to India and say that, hey, they're so racist. I mean, it is what it is, black people, white people, whatever. But she spits at him, and they do that in India. I've seen videos of them doing that in India to male police officers, and the men won't touch him because they're shit scared of the women. The lawyer told me the other day, I mean, I don't give two shits if somebody, but they would never do that to Empress Sir anyway, but even the male police officers, they won't, because it's a socioeconomic kind of thing, and, they spit at their housemates, they spit at the police, but then those police, in India, they will brutally beat the shit out of you, male or female, and especially these female police officers if you're of a lower socioeconomic class, and, are roughly the same, Like in India, you have this thing, tu hai, and this is what they'll do. And, that's a Hindi thing, and, it means literally spit on the person. It was terrible. And Kamala Harris supporters are all like this. You can't even talk, you can't have a debate, you can't talk, you can't do anything logically. People don't want to talk to you in most cases, and they don't want to sit down and have a round table, a discussion to, look, ultimately, there's always a winner and a loser. There's always right and wrong. But you can't, it's subjective. What Hannibal did, in my opinion, he killed pedophiles and child molesters and fucking faggots that did it. He was right. Society considers that to be wrong. So then you have to prove why you're right. But people don't want to do that because the person that, then their lies get called out. For me, it's an open book. Like, this is why I sit here like this, like a Buddha. I remember my, math tutor, my dad was like, he sits there like a Buddha. This guy, man, my own family criticizes me all day long, but this tutor, once and he used to employ he was brutal, like he was old school tutor. He'd have, people serving him, rubbing his feet, whatever, while he was teaching students, brutal old school. And in my house, it was the complete opposite. I remember thinking, fuck, I'm going to do that shit too. I'm going to be dominating too. Everybody does it. Nobody wants to talk about it, but everybody wants to do it. But the main thing, I once did terribly in math. Now I'm the best in math and English in the world, probably. But I once did, except don't tell Dr. Collaball this. Here, go to Princeton, motherfucker, that book. God dog. But, Dr. K and Dr. B, awesome. Dr. Bislin, Dr. Collaball, great, great, great. But anyway, so yeah, and I did badly, and the guy was like, "Oh, okay, yeah," and then I said, "Okay," and then I was, and he didn't try and dominate me or anything. It was just his servants, or but he was a guy, and but his wife didn't know about it, and but my dad knew about it, but he wouldn't say one goddamn thing. But anyway, I don't want to talk about how feminized society is and all that. Forget it. But my point is this: that but so okay, so then he was like, my fees, and so I gave him the fees, and then I was expecting him to say something about my results, but he never did. He was like, okay, now just go do this, do that, do this problem, solve this problem, this, that, blah, blah, blah. You know, now I could dominate that motherfucker right now, but that's not what I'm talking about, for that. I mean, and you guys complain, oh, he's stealing people's money. Yet you have here a fucking fat tutor sitting like Buddha on the bed, not moving. His belly was literally this fat, and pretending he's a guru because he wrote a motherfucking book. I could write that book better than you, asshole. But anyway, and I'll say it to his face, and I'll rip his throat out if he even fucking. But anyway. And I am saying it to his face. I mean, I just, anyway, and these guys literally steal your money because they're fucking, fat and out of shape, is what it is. Now, if he was a sexy guy like me talking to girls, my dad would say, no, tell him not to just take your money. But because he's fat and out of shape, it's acceptable. I mean, this is how feminized society is. But I just want to say this because you guys say pre-orders, this and that. Hey, you're fucking grade A cock. If there's one grade A cock in the world, it is Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan and his pre-sales. Do you speak about that? I don't think so. But he's a grade A cock right down to the language he uses, the body language, the real language, all this, His recent podcast with Tate, it was hilarious. I mean, grade A fucking cock. But anyway, upcoming course on fasting is going to cover all this. If you have questions, specifics, then shoot me an email or on social media, whatever it is. But I don't really, I just put these on YouTube. Shoot me a fucking email, and I believe I covered all that. But now I'm going to do the dick video on the other. I don't know if I'll live stream it. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll live stream it. Fuck, who knows? But I mean, you know what the problem is? Like, every time I fucking do a live stream, some motherfucker will call. I'm like, please just send me a WhatsApp text. Or, they, no, I want to call. Because they know I hate calls. So, it's like, people do things, it's like people, are so stupid these days that everything has to be on a phone call, and fucking, why not just write it, okay? But anyway, don't forget to place the pre-orders for the upcoming course on all the pre-orders on the website, because it's all going to be great fucking sexy stuff, and well, not sexy, but fitness-wise. And you will literally turn into the best version of yourself in every regard. See y'all later.